SSA 711, request for deceased individual social security record. So a lot of times this might be requested by a family member who is either looking for additional information for their personal purposes, could be for genealogical research, researching family tree information, things of that nature. So this isn't the only way that you can obtain a deceased individual social security record. However, this is a fairly straightforward way. So this Social Security form is located on the Social Security Administration website. Before we go too deep into the form itself, I just wanted to kind of overview the form itself. It's 3 pages long, but the application part of this form is only 1 page long. So on page 1 is some cursory information. We'll go back and review that. And on page 3 is a Privacy Act statement that shows how your information might be shared for professional purposes. So your information might be shared with people within or outside the Social Security Administration on a professional basis in a manner where there might be work that needs to be done, information gathering, things of that nature. So as authorized by law, the Social Security Administration is required to tell you that any information that you submit may be used or shared with a third party under very specific circumstances. So in all, the Paperwork Reduction Act statement says it should take about 7 minutes to read the instructions, get your information in order, and then answer the questions. So on the front of this form, there are some basic questions about your request. So you're going to use this form if you need either a photocopy of the original Social Security card application, so that would be the SS5 form, or if you need a computer extract for this Social Security card application. This isn't going to give you any record of benefits information. It's not going to give you really anything from that perspective. This is simply going to give you information if you're trying to research like a distant relative, that kind of information, so that you can start filling in your family tree and things of that nature. So there are application fees that range from $28 for a computer printout. That may not contain all of the information on the original application, such as the name of the individual's parents and their place of birth. $30 for a photocopy of the actual original application, which would contain that information. And then if you need certified copies for either document, you can add a $10 fee. Generally speaking, for personal purposes, certified copies are not required. However, you might need a certified copy of a Social Security statement for legal proceedings or otherwise indicated in a court of law. And then you can pay by credit card. You would need to complete Form SSA 714, which is basically a credit card authorization document, or you can pay with a check or a money order. So you would include one payment for the entire fee, so one check or one money order, regardless of how many forms you've requested on this document. But you cannot send cash to the Social Security Administration. So on to the form itself. We're going to use our hero John Doe. He is requesting Social Security information for his mother, Mary Jane Doe. And so he would like one copy of her photocopy application, the original application, and then he would like a computer extract. So over here to the right, you can see that he has indicated that he's going to pay $30 and he's providing her social security number. If he did not have her social security number, then he would indicate that on line B. And then for line 2, he's entering $28 again on line C because he knows his mother's social security number. If he did not, then that $28 would go into line D. And then for each document, since he's going to require certification for 2 documents, he's going to add $20 to this. Now, unfortunately, in this version of this form, I can't total everything, but you could probably do the math, and you would need to include a check or a money order for $78. Or you can also complete Form SSA 714, and then you would expect the Social Security Administration to charge your account for $78. Now, on the bottom of the form, we're going to put in information about the deceased individual. You know, because the Social Security Administration has to go through records, sometimes a lot of manual records, you should try to complete as much information as possible. So at the top, maiden name is Mary Jane Smith, and her married name is Mary Jane Doe. We checked off that she was a female. We've entered her Social Security number as well as her date of birth, and then her place of birth. And then in section 5, we're going to complete this information field as much as possible, just so that we give the Social Security Administration additional information to work with. So her mother, John's grandmother, Clementine Ann Jones. Her married name was Clementine Ann Smith, and his father's name was David Allen Smith. And finally, information about John Doe. Unfortunately, this fillable field will not let me, I was able to enter that space. So you would enter the name of the requester right beneath this. When you print this form out, you're going to sign this and then date it. Street address, city, state, and zip code, followed by a telephone number and fax number if available, and then email address. So if you're using regular mail, you'll forward the request to the SSA's P.O. Box number listed right here. For express mail, there is an alternative address that you would send this form plus either your check or money order or your completed Form 714. And that's all we have for this form. If you want more information, we cover it in much more depth in our article on our website. So if you go to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in Form SSA 711, you should see our article. And when you read our article, you'll learn a little bit more about not only completing this form, we also have alternative means to get Social Security information, records, earning records, things of that nature. If you don't know that you absolutely need to file Form SSA 711, it really depends on the type of information that you're requesting. And then there's also additional information on what kind of information the Social Security Administration can provide and what they do not provide. So, for example, they won't provide any information for individuals born before 1865, simply because Social Security records didn't exist for those individuals unless they later on obtained a Social Security number. They're also not available for individuals who died before, I believe, November of 1936. So there are certain limitations to the information that you can obtain in this form, and you can read all about it in our article. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter, and if you like our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.